What it do? What it do? What it do? What it do? Man, this show is truly, man. Mike Askari, man. You know what I mean? I'm just on here to give a hot take, man, on passing of our brother, Young Noble, and some thoughts on some other things that I seen concerning Pac as well. But I'm gonna start with Young Noble. So um, let me begin foremost by pointing out that the suicide notion makes no sense to me whatsoever. It's not enough information out there, you know. Just from the last 25 years, me having an understanding on any kind of investigation for that matter. You know what I'm saying? So, according to reports that's out there, they saying that they found this man at 9 something in the morning at the bottom of a pool. Other people are saying that it was a pond, but they saying they found him at the bottom of a pool. Somebody reported that. Less than a foot, shell casing that was less than a foot away from his body, as well as the gun. No, I have to wonder about that. You know what I mean? Because if I don't know, I mean, let's think about it. We see people die in open water all the time, man. You know what I'm saying? You know, the body normally floats at the top for days. How does this man get to the bottom of the pool, pond, whatever it is, so fast? That's for one. Two, if this is a pond, that's a dirt bottom. Within that time frame, how do they? I mean, they did all of that. It's showcasing. So you mean to tell me that this man, anybody who done listen to Young Noble, talk to Young Noble, or have an idea that in order to gauge that brother's energy and his strength, this everybody said, oh, yeah, it's depression, and you know, it make people do different things. You know, well, I experienced a lot of death in my family. You know what I mean? Especially being incarcerated. Most of my family died while I was incarcerated. I understand that darkness all too well. It's a darkness, and it's a severe darkness. You know what I'm saying? And it takes a special type of person to be able to gauge it. You know, which is why I don't believe it, because Young Noble not only was a very strong brother, you know what I'm saying, but this man had a lot of incentive. You know, this man had a wife and a child who they say had autism. So you mean to tell me this man is going to be that cowardly that he's going to kill himself and leave and just lead them, just have to deal with that? No, that's another thing why it don't make sense to me. It's not adding up. You know what I mean? This man at 2 o'clock in the morning go tell his wife, I'm about to go and clear my head, then go either swim in the pool two the wee hours of the morning with a gun in his hand, I would imagine, and say, hey, I'm about to and they shoot itself. You know what I mean? Now they don't say how deep that pool was, but if they say he was at the bottom of it, I'm imagining in my mind at least 6 to 10 feet. They don't say if he was in the middle of the pool or the pond or the side of it or whatever. But if this is the case, you know what I'm saying? Nah, it's too fishy, man. It's something with some dirty business going on up in there somewhere, man. And you know, I can be wrong. You know, this is my hypothesis. This is my hot take on it. You know what I mean? It don't add up. It don't make no sense. Yeah, the man, I can imagine he was dealing with a lot of depression. This man, when his pop get killed, lost yacht, lost fatal, big sight. You know what I mean? And mentioned prior to that, prior to Pac passing, he lost two of his homeboys back to back prior to that. So he lost a lot. You know what I mean? I get that. In 2020, I lost my auntie. Then my grandmama died. Then a month or so later, my mama died right after her. My cousin get murdered after that, and I lost at least 6, 7 family members after that, doing either fentanyl poison or getting murdered in Oakland. You know what I'm saying? I still don't even know if I even had the opportunity to grieve. I understand that darkness all too well. You know what I mean? I have been diagnosed with clinically uh, severe depression at one point in my life. I get it. Suicide never was an option for me. I couldn't fathom killing myself. Now, me and Noble are two different human beings. You know, I just believe that brother was just as strong as I was. And until I see something that proves otherwise, I'm going to ride with the notion that this dude was murdered, man. I'm going to say that. I believe he was murdered. I don't believe that man killed himself. You know what I'm saying? They mentioned his wife. They mentioned that his wife went looking for him after but they say she was waiting on him to come back because he normally takes care of, watch their child while she's at work. When he didn't come back, she dropped their child off at a relative's house, and they said she found his car. I didn't hear much more than that, but we have heard that she wasn't the one who found his body or reported his body. Now we saw throughout history when somebody had killed somebody, you know what I mean, then go and report, call the police and make an anonymous call saying that somebody's dead or is about to get killed. We saw that too many times. You know what I mean? So they don't talk about the person who made the report. You know what I mean? It just don't add up. You know what I mean? Salutations. Calico, what's up, my brother, man? I see you. Damn, I wish I could. Hold on, let me see. I wish I could. Hold on, let me try to. Let me see if I can. Damn, I don't know how to post the link. I will post the link. That's why I had called you, bro. So that's in case you wanted to go live with me, man. But it doesn't make sense, man, as to what happened with this brother, man. You know what I mean? Now I didn't know Young Noble. I'm not gonna make it seem like I just knew this brother all too well. You know what I'm saying? But you can gauge somebody's energy. You know what I mean? It don't add up. You know what I mean? So before I get to no, I'm just on a regular YouTube right now, bro. I'm on a regular YouTube. I want to speak to something else, to some other things that I've been seeing, you know, concerning people. I think Big Daddy Kane did an interview with somebody, and this discussion on whether Tupac or Jay-Z was a better lyricist and this, that, and the third, or if Jay-Z surpassed Tupac, you know what I mean, I guess in fame or whatnot. So let me say this. If anybody listen to Pac will tell you Pac's objective was to get to the money, man. He did it, you know what I mean, for prosperity, man, as well as the message that he was giving, you know what I mean, to his people, man. You know, Pac was raised to love his people, man. You know what I'm saying? He had an agenda. Not to say that Jay-Z don't or didn't, you know what I'm saying, but we know what Pac was on. You know, so was he a lyricist? Absolutely. You know what I'm saying? Pac was the best storyteller that I've ever heard. You know what I'm saying? Pac was uniquely himself from the jump. He had an identity from the jump. As soon as he jumped off the porch in this industry, you know what I'm saying? With Digital Underground, he was just different, period. From the jump. He had an identity that people gravitated towards. No disrespect to Jay-Z, but Jay-Z, to me, is a variant of Notorious B.I.G. A lot of his style, obviously, was copied from him, Jazzo, and other people. You know what I'm saying? Now, we're all inspired by somebody. You know what I'm saying? So I ain't gonna go too hard in the paint on that or even knock him for that. But, you know what I'm saying? You know, but there's a difference here. You know what I'm saying? Jay-Z's a storyteller, just like Pac was. Each one of them had their own method. But if I'm going to be completely honest here, we want to talk about like who made it further. If Jay-Z was able to live up to, surpass, or what Pac did, message-wise, no. But he certainly lived up to what Pac's wanted to do as far as the fortune part of it. Pac sold millions of records, and we all know that he didn't get a dime of that shit when he died. You know what I'm saying? You would think he should have. You know what I'm saying? He should have. But Pac was robbed. They robbed the shit out of Pac and his family. They still robbing his family right now while saying they love him. That's how dirty niggas is. You know what I'm saying? You know? They'll sit there and claim that they love you like a motherfucker, man, but they got their hands deep in your pocket. That's how dirty motherfuckers is. You know what I mean? Jay-Z got his money. So on that, he passed Pac on that. Hands down, that's undeniable. You know what I'm saying? Jay-Z, I believe, is a billionaire at this point. Pac should have been a billionaire. Very well could have. We can only imagine what Pac would be at right now if Tupac Shakur was still alive, on what the game would be. The Notorious B.I.G. almost surely would have been a billionaire. Like them two people there, I'm sure if Jay-Z can be a billionaire right now, who's going to sit here and tell me that Pac wouldn't have, and Notorious B.I.G. wouldn't have accomplished that? You know what I mean? So, but let's not get so caught up in our coastal or geographical bias and sit here and try to put Jay-Z in the same category with Pac. You just can't do that. You cannot do that, man. You know what I'm saying? Because it's funny touching this topic, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, for so many different reasons, it's very funny touching this topic, man. It's to me, it's not even close, man. It's not even close. You know, fortune-wise, Jay-Z passed Pac up, hands down. But Pac told stories that touch people in a fashion that Jay-Z can never do. Nah, he don't have a history. You know what I'm saying? Pac was raised a certain way, man. We're talking about a man whose mother was fighting Uncle Sam for her freedom while she carried him in her stomach. Say what you want to say about Finney's drug habit, you know what I mean? Her and my mama was the same. They both were drug addicts, but very strong women. She laced that boy, you know what I'm saying? Pac was very educated, man. And he had a history, man. His connection with Geronimo Pratt and all of them. I mean, I'm just saying, like, You can't put Jay-Z in that category. That this is not saying that to lessen that man, but I'm just saying, he was able to articulate that in his art, man, in a fashion that nobody's been able to do. They ain't got no college classes at the University of Berkeley or no other college on Jay-Z and his art. They do for Tupac Shakur. You know what I'm saying? Pac knew his power, man. He knew his power. He said, man, if he wasn't able to spark it, he was go influence the motherfuckers that would. And he's done that several times over, man. You got all kind of motherfuckers that's trying to emulate what that man did. So that's my hot take on that. You know what I'm saying? We got to stop trying to put people who were able to outlive Pac. Pac died at 25 years old. Jay-Z didn't even come close to accomplishing what Pac was able to accomplish by the time of his 25th birthday or younger. We're talking about a man that did all of that by the age of 25. Pac was only in the industry for relatively maybe 6-7 years. This man was only in the industry for 6-7 years. We're not talking about a man that was in the industry for 15, 10, 20 years. Within that small window of time, Allah allowed Pac to accomplish a lot, man, and touch the world in a different way that Jay-Z has not been able to do in over 20. To do things that Nas has not been able to do in over damn near 30 years plus. A lot of people, no. So Pac is in a class of his own. He's in a league of his own. Let's accept that, just like we accept the history from all the other greats of our hip-hop history, man. Let's not try to lessen Pac or put yourself on the same level as him, because you will never be able to do it. Now I'm back to Young Noble again, just to recap, the basis of this hot take, man. You know what I'm saying? I don't believe Young Noble committed suicide. I'm just going to say that. I don't believe it. It don't add up. I understand how investigations go. You know what I'm saying? It's too much shit that's just unsaid right now that we're supposed to be hearing. Police are obligated to do a thorough investigation before they just jump to suicide. Unless you saw that man, unless there's videotape or something on suicide, how do you just jump to that conclusion? You know what I'm saying? If it's a pond, I'm imagining a muddy pond. So we gave you the presence of mind. I imagine you would have had to drag the pond with some kind of nets or something in order to find a shell casing in a muddy pond in addition to the gun. They're not talking about how deep this pool or pond was. They're saying a pool. So when you say pool, we're imagining something that's deep, 6 to 12 feet at least. That's the thought that immediately comes to your head. They're leaving it's too ambiguous right now about these things that should be clear. You know what I'm saying? Okay, I'm gonna check it out, bro. It's too ambiguous right now, man. We should have more answers to what's going on versus the speculation. And this is another thing. If this is what they say it is, right? Then why is this so quiet? Didn't Pac isn't this where Pac had shot the 2 off-duty cops in Georgia on him? You know what I'm saying? Isn't this the same? If this is where it happened, didn't it happen? So, Calico, was it Georgia? Was it where did they find Young Noble at? Was it Georgia that they found him dead in? that he allegedly committed suicide? Was it Georgia or what state was it? I'm presuming that it was Georgia. If it was Georgia, that yeah, okay, yeah. So it was in Atlanta where Pac shot these two off-duty cops. That's not, and this man was a part of Pac's entourage. Why is this shit so quiet? It don't make sense. You know, anything, any hit when Pac was alive, any headline that Pac showed up in made the news. You know what I mean? Especially with all this Keefe D and shit going on. Now all of a sudden, a person part of Pac's entourage allegedly killing himself is too quiet, man. You know what I'm saying? And it only be quiet like that, man, when somebody either know they didn't do their job or they're trying to cover something up. I'm just saying, folks, don't sell your mind on this young noble killed himself shit, man. You know what I'm saying? Don't be so quick just to jump on that bandwagon. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't add up. It doesn't compute with logic. It doesn't. What y'all think? You know what I'm saying? If you believe that, why do you believe it? Leave comments below. Let me hear what you think about that. Because it don't add up to me. You know what I'm saying? I'm not smelling what they selling on that, man. You know what I'm saying? You got to answer some of these serious questions. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? To jump on that. You know what I mean? Kill yourself. Leave your wife and your kid out there just to dangle and fend for themselves. Your wife with an autistic child. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Basically, so what we doing? We call a young noble a coward? What you saying? Because that's what a coward do. I don't pay a young noble as no coward, man, who just go leave his wife and his kid, his wife to take care of autistic child by herself and fend for herself, man. Nah. Now, having said all that, this is not to say that he didn't do it. I'm saying I don't believe it. I got to see more. I have to see more before I'm satisfied with that. You know what I'm saying? May that brother rest in peace nonetheless. You know what I'm saying? You know, long live Pac, long live Yacht, long live Fatal, long live Big Sight. You know what I'm saying? You know, that's 5 outlaws, man. You know what I mean? That's the sign of the time. I'm noticing that people started to bombard Ferrari, Fatal's daughter, you know what I'm saying, with a lot of shit, man. That young lady wasn't older to really grasp what was going on with her father and the things that's going around. So don't be a vulture, man. You know what I'm saying? You know, as she put it, young Noble was the only one that reached out to her after her father passed. You know what I mean? We gotta ask questions, folks. We gotta ask questions, man. It don't make sense. You know what I mean? But if you got a better take on it, maybe you heard something that I didn't hear. Maybe you caught something that I didn't catch. But all I'm hearing is a bunch of ambiguity. It's too ambiguous right now, and it's not supposed to be ambiguous with something like that. And we know that police are trained not to just jump to that conclusion just that fast, man. Just that fast. A body was it a pool or was it a pond? Them two different circumstances. You know what I'm saying? You know, and this is important because it brings the question there: how do they find the shell casing? How do you find a shell casing in a muddy thing? I ain't saw no pictures of no crime scene. It's supposed to be a crime scene. Where's the yellow tape at? How is it just back to business just that fast? You know what I mean? But this is the racist South. This is a nigga. You know what I'm saying? Another nigga killed himself. You know what I mean? Just write this off and just go on business as usual. You know what I mean? Is it because he black they rolled it off so quick? And just said suicide just to sign off on it and just to be done with it? Because they probably don't want the publicity and the controversy that may surround it. Is that why? I mean, you know, they're not doing it justice. They're not doing it justice for the people who love Young Noble, who love the Outlaws, who love Pop. We deserve answers, man. You know what I'm saying? We need real answers. You know what I mean? We need these questions answered, man. I'm not buying it as it's being told to me. I'm not buying that shit, man. It makes no fucking sense. None. You know what I mean? So, the fuck out of Pac, man. I don't give a fuck how much they talking about they love that man and nothing, man. Look, man. That's what you do. Man who trusts what you do. Fuck what you say. I trust what you do. The actions show hate. The actions show treachery, man. That's what the actions show. You know what I'm saying? When you get past all the smoke and mirrors, the actions show treachery, man. Pac was fucked over. His mama was fucked over. His family is still being fucked over. You know what I'm saying? You know, so let's talk about that. Instead of trying to get motherfuckers and put motherfuckers over him, you know what I'm saying? Let's talk about getting his family justice. You know what I'm saying? Let's talk about that part. You know what I'm saying? Trying to put these motherfuckers over him. You can't. You'll never live up to what that man did. Sorry. You know what I'm saying? That man was able to whoop your ass in life and death. Let's talk about that. In life and death. Still whooping your ass. Still beating the brakes off these niggas from the grave, man. Period. Long live Pac, man. But rest in peace, Fatal, man. You know what I'm saying? We need answers, man. You know, we deserve more. We have to demand that. You know what I mean? We losing more and more of our artists, man. More and more of our people to violence and shit, man. You know what I'm saying? You damn right. Heavy is the head to wear the crown, man. The show. You know what I mean? Very heavy, man. You know what I mean? But if you got a brain in that motherfucking skull, in that head, you know what I'm saying? And you got a spirit that can weather the storm and weather the weight of that, you know what I mean? You can handle it. I think Noble, shit makes no sense. Fuck. Shit acting up, man. I'm telling you, YouTube got a weird sense of humor, man. And this shit makes no sense, man. I don't know what the fuck happening right now, man, but fuck it, I'm gonna ride this shit out. But I ain't buying that shit though, man. You know what I mean? What y'all think? You know what I'm saying? You know, give me y'all takes on that, man. Maybe what's the name? Damn. I don't know how to operate the features on this motherfucker. I see Goddess in here too. Hey you. I see you. Damn. I can't post no link or nothing like that. I'm trying to see where I can post a link so I can share this motherfucker to y'all. But what y'all think though? Y'all buying the suicide shit? You know what I mean? Trust me, the next time you go live, real holler though. You know, this ain't the last time, man. Like, no, yeah, we do another one today. You know what I'm saying? This shit being heavy on my thoughts, man. It's being heavy on my conscience, man. So, you know, I had to come on here and say something, man. Cause you know, I want people to demand answers, man. All right. So this is what I'm gonna do. I'm about to end this. Yeah, I'm gonna open it up on StreamYard, and I'm gonna send you the link so we can chop it. I'm about to end this one though, man. But y'all stay tuned, man. We about to chop it up some more, but I'm about to end this right now for right now. But thank y'all for tapping in, man, with the Ghost Regime Network by yours truly. Like, share, and subscribe to your guy, man. You know what I'm saying? Um, y'all stay on the lookout for that merch. That merch should be out there, man. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to my nigga Yuck Mouth. Shout out to my nigga my brother Calico, Gooch. You know what I'm saying? The mob. You feel me? My brother Keith Sherman, Crowded Music Streaming. Tap in with Crowded Music Streaming, man. Y'all get ready, man, for that West Coast Hip Hop Awards things coming up in August, man. Salute to Mr. Octavius Miller, man. You know, um, you know, and keep your eyes and ears open, man, for the Hater Proof brand. You know what I'm saying? The clothing and the merch, you know what I'm saying, by my brother Cali Cash as well, man. So I just want to put that out there for I end this though. But I'm about to end this, man, and set up the StreamYard, man, so I can get my brothers, you know what I mean, hot takes on this shit too though. So salute. Y'all